It all begins with Yuno waking up in a hospital bed. Just at that moment, a man walks towards her room, but before he enters, confused, she runs away to the street until she crosses paths with a guy and asks him for help, but that man tries to kill her. At that moment, the gorgeous Chin appears, defeats the suspect, and rescues her by taking her to his house. When she wakes up, she finds herself in an unknown place until she sees him coming out of the shower, and in fright she almost stabs him, but he stops her and asks her to calm down. At that moment, she regained her memory and recalled her wedding rehearsal with her fiancé Jong. Her best friend Lilia showed up pretending to be excited about her wedding. Everything seemed normal, except the looks and gestures between them screamed betrayal. Naively, she trusted Jong, even saying he was a good man who looked out for her and her company, but their happiness didn't last long because she received a mysterious gift, a hotel room key. When she went to check on him, she found them in bed together. They had both betrayed her for years to steal her fortune. John chased her, claiming it was all a misunderstanding, but things got worse when Lilia, in the middle of a fight, pushed her off the roof. Jong managed to reach her in time. Frightened, she begged him not to let go, but Lilia whispered, "Let her die," and he let her go. Due to the stroke, she fell into a coma. Jong took over his entire company, and Lily moved into our girl's house as if nothing had happened, living in luxury. But Jong didn't want to make his relationship with Lily public because our girl was still alive, and that would damage his plans. So Lily decided to eliminate her and hired an assassin, the same one we saw at the beginning. Luckily, Chin saved her just in time. She thanks him, but doesn't quite trust him and doubtfully asks who he is. He replies, "You don't remember me. I'm your father's old fat man." Confused, she asks him why he saved her, and he simply replies that it was a coincidence. She tries to leave, but can't even stand. Chin tells her that Jong has seized everything, has the company, the support of all the shareholders, even her house. He offers to help her get everything back, but she proudly refuses. "I don't need your charity, just take me to the company." When she arrives, there's a party for a new project, and everyone is surprised to see her. She holds back and acts as if she's lost all memory of the accident. Jong, noticing, takes advantage of the situation and pretends to be the perfect boyfriend, but when she asks him to come home, he panics and signals Lily to leave. When they arrive, he tells her he's been taking care of the house, and, taking advantage of her retreating to her room, he throws Lily out the door with all her suitcases. The next day, he speaks to the doctor, who tells her that if she confronts certain memories, her memory might return. Meanwhile, Lily takes her to the same hotel where the betrayal took place and sarcastically asks if she remembers what she saw. Annoyed, she can't contain herself and angrily grabs her, shoving her head down the toilet. Jong appears, and she pretends not to remember what happened, explaining that Lily invited him to help her recover her memory. She then complains of what appears to be a headache, and the frightened man asks her to rest. Later, he takes it out on Lily, reminding her that the protagonist is still the company's president and that any wrong move could ruin everything. Elsewhere, Jean offers to help him recover his company in exchange for 50% of the shares. She asks him, "Are you so sure I'll accept?" To which our guy replies, "I'm the only one who can help you, and I'll protect you from them." She rejects him, saying, "You're not my father's bodyguard anymore. Thanks, but I don't need you." The next day, Jong shows up with an older woman to take care of her, but she recognizes her. It's the same woman who beat her in the hospital while she was unconscious. So when Jong left for the company, he started beating her as revenge. Eventually, the woman confessed that it was all Lily's idea. She was just following orders and had nothing to do with it. She asked if she could confess in front of Jong, but the woman refused, saying that Lily had threatened her and was employing her and her son. And our girl offered her a check for a large sum of money, and the woman agreed. Then, in front of them, she told them that this crazy woman claimed they were plotting against her. They both denied it, but Lily ended up falling for it and, to cover her head, apologized to her. The woman replied, "There's no need to apologize among friends, and if it's because of the rumors that my fiancé likes you, then I'll be working at the company tomorrow, so they'll stop talking bad about you. He agreed, but on one condition, that our girl take over the entire management of the company. This, of course, didn't please Lily at all, but he told her he had a bad feeling about this new project. At the company, her uncle greeted her enthusiastically, telling her he'd support her before the board, but when she entered the meeting, she found chaos. Everyone was accusing her of being a failure and not wanting her there. Upset by what had happened, she went up to the roof to vent, and then, feeling dizzy, went back down to the garage. Lily had sent some thugs, but they couldn't do anything to her because our guy showed up to defend her. Then he put her in the car and told the thugs, 3 against a woman. That's not manly, and he beat them up. Then he waited for Lily in the same garage. When she showed up, he approached her with a knife to create suspense. Frightened, she asked him who he was. He replied, "It doesn't matter, but I know you sent those guys to hurt her. I'm warning you. Don't do it again, or you'll be punished." The next morning she woke up in a strange place, left the room to see where she was and found Chin, who had all his employees lined up. As soon as they saw her, they noticed she was only wearing a shirt, and he quickly covered her up and took her to the room. He reminded her of what happened the night before and told her they were at his security company. She confessed that she needed someone to protect her, that what happened yesterday was no coincidence. Now she didn't know who to trust, but "You're the least bad," he told her. He didn't know if that was a compliment or an insult, but he didn't care much, so she went ahead with her proposal. She'll give him a percentage of the shares, on the condition that he works as her personal bodyguard, just like she did for his father. Just then an employee came in and told him, "Boss, the annoying actress came back. She came in without permission, and when she saw her, she started making sarcastic comments, asking who the girl was who forgot to put on pants. Then he told her that he had brought the contract so that she would take care of her personally. She suddenly got jealous, and he cunningly got between them both and said to the actress, 'As you see, I have many requests, so if you want me to work with you, you'll have to wait.'" Meanwhile, John received a photo of them together and, full of jealousy, thinks she is cheating on him, decides to confront them and looks for something to hit Chin, but he notices her presence and, as if he were a fly, beats him up. She put ice on his swollen face and apologized. "Sorry, my bodyguard is a little impulsive." John demands that she fire her bodyguard, but she refuses since she has suffered many attacks and needs protection. Full of rage, he takes out his anger on Lily, reproaches her that it is his fault that she returned to Chin, hiring him to be her bodyguard. Lily, confused, asks him who that man is. John explains that he was the bodyguard of the protagonist's late father. He also confessed that he had been a military man with a fearsome reputation. Although he seemed elegant, he was actually dangerous and cold-hearted. He had always tried to get close to our girl, but she never paid attention to him, and indeed what he feared most happened. At the company he met Chin. He gave her a look and said, "Say goodbye because we'll soon kick you out of here." John swallowed his words and entered the meeting to discuss the project. Chun, for his part, had told our girl everything. John had set up that project just to scam her. She was surprised to see that her uncle supported him and told her, "You are not qualified to lead. You're going to ruin everything. The partners won't want to continue with us because of you." But she answered him, "The partners already accepted. It was me who rejected the deal because something smelled fishy. I'm sorry, uncle, but I'm going to have to fire you." The scared one fell into the trap and ended up betraying John, saying, "He organized everything. He made the deal." She looked at them and said, "Someone has to take the blame." Scared, he goes to Lily, and to avoid losing his job, he decided to sacrifice her, and when he saw our girl, he slaps her, blaming her for everything. She acted surprised and defended Lily, saying, "Sorry, friend, according to John, you made them sign the contracts. You're fired," and hugged her hypocritically. When she returned, she found the employees waiting for her. Then her aunt announced who was the new president of the company, and thus managed to fulfill the first part of her plan. Meanwhile, the two villains were together. John tells her that he planned to marry our girl as soon as possible so that she wouldn't have time to find out, so he would keep half of the company. But Lily got angry and said, "You think I'm a garbage bag for you to leave me behind?" He replied, "And all this that I do is not for our love." But she distrustfully answered, "Yes, of course, for our love." Just at that moment she called him to ask him where he was. He told her in the office, and thinking that she would go looking for him, she ran straight to the company. After hanging up, she told Chin that he had always told her that he was in the company working with Lily. It never crossed her mind that that job meant something else than our boy gives her a bracelet. She told him that she couldn't accept it, but he replied, "It's not a gift. It has an integrated GPS. When you're in danger, I'll be there to protect you." She was stunned. His voice, his gaze, his way of being, everything disarmed her. Then she thanked him and left, ready to stand firm. Then she stumbled while exercising. Scared, he got out of the shower to see how he was doing, and while he helped him get up, she was stunned, seeing our boy's muscular body. Then she asked him if he really was a cruel officer in the army. He laughed and told her it seemed like he was reading headlines from a tabloid. It was all a lie. Later, he prepared some soup for her, and although it was a little salty, she thanks him for the detail. At that moment, she began to get used to Chen's care and couldn't stop looking at the white shirt that made him 3 times more attractive. Our girl was already falling for his charms. Then she tried to set limits and said, "Look, boy, our relationship should be professional. You are my bodyguard and I am a client. Cooking is not in your contract." He kept thinking about whether she had already noticed what he felt, and at the same time she was talking to herself. Remember what happened, you should not trust any man. The next day, Jong forcibly sent Lily to another city to prevent her from they would find. Then he appeared with a photo from the day before their wedding. He tells her that he wants to make up for lost time and continue with their marriage. She asked him, "Do you still love me?" And he replied, "Still questions. Of course I love you. We are getting married next Thursday." She accepted but proposed to take a trip to revive love, and she herself would take care of organizing everything. He accepted without knowing that he had already booked the same hotel where Lily was hidden. When they arrived, he was pacing back and forth. "I want to go, let's change hotels," but she ignored him. Just at that moment, Chin appeared saying that he had already booked the room. Jong got furious knowing that Chin would be on top of him during the whole trip, and so it happened. Chin made sure to book separate rooms, ruining all her plans. Then our boy asked her why she chose that place. She confessed that she discovered that Lily was hiding there and knew that her presence would prevent Jong from insisting on the marriage. With luck, she could even catch him in something. Then Jong sent her a message asking her to wait for him in an area of the hotel. When she arrived, she found him dancing like a clown with flowers and saying, "I love you." She tried to keep up with him and even uploaded a photo with him on Instagram for Lily to see, and so it was. Lily began to send messages to Jong asking him to come see her. Scared of getting caught, she came and went all the time until she surprised him in the room. Lily had to hide in the bathtub and swallowed so much water that he had to take her to the emergency room at the hospital. Chun, jealous, showed her the photo of her with Jong kissing her on the cheek. He claimed that just like that you let him kiss you. She replied it was an innocent kiss, all part of the drama. Then he told her, "So anyone can kiss you and you don't care." She told him that didn't affect her and he kissed her but not on the cheek. Then she slapped him and yelled at him, "You have no right to interfere in my life." Back in her room, she found Jong in her bed wearing a robe with candles and clear intentions of having a passionate night. She tried to stop him but he didn't listen until Chin came in and took him out of the room. Then she threatened him, "If you do that again, I won't hold back." Jong replied, "I know why you stick to her so much," and Chin answered, "Exactly, because I love her, so be careful." That night, she couldn't sleep and thought about how our boy had protected her. Then she went out and found him standing in the doorway hoping to protect her from anything. He apologized for kissing her without warning and promised not to do it again unless she felt the same way. She told him, "I want you to pretend like we're a couple in front of Jong so he'll stop talking to me about marriage." He replied, "That's my thing, you're going to be surprised with my acting, but I don't promise it will be all acting," and so began the stage between the game and real love. The next day, Jong appeared at the gym to apologize to her. He told her she was exaggerating because he missed her, and Chin only wanted her out of interest. Then a team of bodyguards came in and said, "Choose the one you want and fire Chin." But all the bodyguards ran away when they saw our boy come in. He approached him and gave him some sneakers because the previous ones hurt him. The two looked at each other as if they were alone in the world. The gym looked like a romantic garden, and Jong in the middle of it all like a scarecrow. To cut the moment, Jong took her to a wedding dress store. Chin went with them while she tried on the dress. The salesman convinced him to try on a suit. Everyone was surprised at how good it looked on her. He even looked like the real boyfriend, but Jong, jealous, told them, "He's just a bodyguard," and Chin replied, "Since you haven't married her, I still have a chance." At that she slipped, and he quickly took her in his arms. She told him she was just acting, to which he replied, "Forget the theater, let's make it real," and he kissed her in front of everyone. Later, when they got in the car, she claimed, "Don't you think you're acting too well?" And he replied, "I promised you I was going to act with dedication, and well, that's what I do." Then she walks distracted by everything that was happening, and just before a truck was about to run over her, our brave boy saved her. She stayed taking care of his wounds and told him that it would have been better to go to the hospital, but he replied, "Look, daughter, the wound on my heart hurts more than the one on my back. Do you understand? Or I'll explain it." Better then, he approached her and reminded her how before he asked her to put distance between them, and now they were sharing the same couch. She believed that he would kiss her, and this time she wanted to too, but he got up and left, leaving her excited. The next day they packed everything and returned home, and John was surprised to see that they left the hotel. Meanwhile, she came back very happy and asked Chin to cook for her, but he replied that he was sorry, that he was only her bodyguard, not her personal chef. She understood the hint and told him that she would cook her own food, but it was a disaster. Everything was burning. She could not even make a recipe following the instructions. Later, our boy was drying his hair. She watches him and, unable to resist the temptation, approaches and kisses him passionately. He responds and lets herself be carried away by the moment until suddenly the doorbell rings. John almost faints when he sees him with his shirt unbuttoned and full of suspicions, demands to know what happened between them. Nervously, he goes to the bathroom and sees 2 toothbrushes. Then he goes to the room, finding 2 pillows. Furious, he loses control and demands that she choose between him or his bodyguard, and tired of jealousy, asks her to take some time. John hurt, he left the house with the bouquet of flowers in his hand. Lily tries to convince him to leave the protagonist. She tells him that with the money they took, they can live peacefully without worries. However, he has other ambitions. He wants to be the absolute owner of the company, and to achieve this, he must marry our girl. This infuriates Lily, but he warns that if she continues causing problems, he will end their relationship, and full of resentment swears revenge on the protagonist. That same night, she goes out for a run to clear her mind, but suddenly she is kidnapped and taken to an abandoned warehouse. Behind it all was Lily, who had paid to be harmed, and just when the situation became dangerous, our hero arrives with his security team, and the kidnappers get what they deserve. She wakes up shocked by what happened, and without thinking, she kisses him passionately, so they both get carried away and share their first time together. When she wakes up, she feels embarrassed. She tries to pick up her clothes but stumbles, falling out of bed. He asks her if she is trying to escape, and with a smile he tells her that he prefers the passionate girl, making her feel even more embarrassed. Later, when she gets to the office, John was waiting for her with a ring and a bouquet of flowers. In front of all the employees, he asks her to marry her, and although she feels uncomfortable, she accepts his proposal as part of his plan. Chin, half jealous, told her that she seemed to still be in love with her ex. She answered him in all honesty, "Why would I go after a can of sardines having chocolate like you?" The only thing stopping her was the fear of losing the company, and she didn't need to make an enemy of John, but he warned her, if the month ends and you don't get your money back, you'll have to marry him, and you'll live a miserable life. If your father were alive, he would never want you to sacrifice your happiness for the company. Meanwhile, John was harassing his secretary, but the girl didn't give in and joined our girl to get revenge. She pretended to be in love to seduce him, and just when they were at it, Lily came in and started fighting with both of them. A while later, our girl arrived to see her fiancé. Lily couldn't take it anymore. She told him that the two of them had been together since before she fell into a coma, and that even when she woke up, they continued seeing each other secretly. She asked him why he hated her so much. Lily confessed that it was all out of envy because she was the daughter of the owner of the company and she was just an employee. She replied that she had always considered her friend. She never thought that she would bite her hand, and before leaving she whispered in his ear that she never really lost her memory and that John only loved money. Then our boy congratulated her for what happened. He managed to put together a great plan to make them fall. She asked him if he was still jealous, and he replied, "I am your love, he is nobody." When they got home, they found the pathetic John asking for forgiveness. She told him that forgiving was easy, but that they could not get married anymore because her heart no longer belonged to him. Then she looked at our boy out of the corner of her eye, leaving John dying of jealousy. Then, remembering her father, she realized that from the first moment he never trusted John, but she insisted that she loved him. She wanted to get married, and in the end her father died disappointed. Our boy took her out of that painful memory. He told her that her father had always loved her and watched over her from heaven. She confessed that during her coma, she felt that someone was visiting her and reading to her. She was sure it was him. She began to cry, saying that she missed him. He hugged her to comfort her, took her to see the stars, and told her to stop blaming herself, to live in the present instead of crying for what already happened, and as if that weren't enough, he also decided to tell her the whole truth. He confessed that he loved her since the first time he saw her, although she never noticed. He was the photographer who took the graduation picture with her father, that he was there when he died, and that he always wanted to be by her side in her worst moments. Then he took out a ring and asked her to marry him. Overwhelmed, he told her that he had surprised her. That dose of romanticism was too much for her and that she couldn't answer him at that moment. So our boy gently told her, "Take your time, my love." Then he went to see Lily at a cafe, and the poor girl was devastated because she didn't have a penny. Our girl told him, "I considered you a sister. I never imagined you were a traitor." Lily replied, "If you come to tell me that so that I can give you proof that Jong is stealing, then you won't get anything from me." But she replied, "It is not in my ethics to do that. Start your life from scratch. I don't want anything from you." And miraculously, Lily woke up conscious and decided to give her the evidence. In the morning, she arrives at the company with confidence. Without hesitation, she accuses Jong and exposes her evidence in front of the investors. However, Lily appears claiming that she was pressuring and manipulating him, and we are shown that after their meeting, she called Jong to inform him of everything, and the protagonist is left as a liar in front of the investors. But what the witch did not know was that she had also been used by Jong, who sent security to kick her out because she did not need her. Alone, she confronts our girl with an arrogant smile. She tells her that now she has everyone's trust, and if she does not follow her orders, she will lose everything her father left her. Meanwhile, our boy went to see an important man who told him, "You are taking too long, and you still have not achieved what you owe. Your loyalty must be only to the Mindy Group." That same night, Jong arrives accusing him of being a scammer, and also reveals that our boy is engaged, which he confirms is true. Confused, she asks him who you are. "What is your name? What do you want from me? Why did you ask me for 50% of the shares?" But he told her he couldn't answer her, and all he wanted was to be close to her, because he loved her. However, she was hurt by his lies and asks him to leave. Jong arrives at her office with a smile, convinced that he will soon be the new president, believing that by becoming the largest shareholder, everything will be under his control. And as if that weren't enough, that same night he goes with our girl and offers her one last chance to be his wife, and when he sees that she refuses, he tries to force her, but then his phone rings. One of the partners informs him that he will not sell him his shares. He sold them to the president of the Mindy Group, so he left quickly. The next day, he went to the Mindy Group to find out what was happening, and surprise, our boy is the president. Jong, desperate to recover the shares, offers to give him to the protagonist, which infuriates our boy since she is not an object, and orders that he be dragged away. Then, he stayed talking to a great businessman who, by the way, turns out to be his father. Both agreed that he would never harm the protagonist's company in exchange for him fulfilling his father's dream and running the company. Upset and scared, he went to our girl's house and told her everything that had happened, accusing our boy of wanting to steal his company. Then, he went straight to the security company to look for him, but did not find him. The assistant, seeing her worried, decides to tell her the truth. He tells her that during the time she was in a coma, he never abandoned her. He would always read to her, bring her flowers, and protect her, showing her his unconditional love. She understood that the presence she felt while she was in a coma was Chun. He was the only one who was really by her side. She ran out to look for him, but Jong kidnaps her parking lot. Then our boy receives the call from Jong. He sights them in a remote place and warns him that he must go alone. When he arrives, he was waiting for him with a gang of thugs. Without hesitation, he decides to confront them, but Jong orders him to stop or he will hurt the protagonist, which the thugs take advantage of to beat him up. In a mocking tone, he takes a bat with the intention of finishing him off, but she got in the way, receiving the blow, falling unconscious. In that, his men arrive to help him, which forces Jong to flee quickly. However, when he left, Lily, full of rage, runs him over, saying that if she can't be happy, neither will she be. When he woke up in the hospital, our boy was by her side. He told her that Jong had died and that Lily was arrested. Confused, she asks him if he prevented Jong from buying the shares of his company. He confirms that he did, explaining that his father, before dying, asked him to take care of her. He also reveals that he is the adopted son of the owner of the Mind Group, a direct rival of his company. Despite that his father treated him with kindness, and as gratitude he paid him back by taking care of his daughter. Now that he has fulfilled his task, he must retire. He must continue with his adoptive father's dream and manage the company. Now he will be his direct competitor. That's why they can't be together. Sometime later she finds out that he is going to get married. The news surprises her and distresses her, especially because it is a marriage arranged by her stepfather. In a moment of courage, she arrives at the wedding dressed as a bride, interrupting the ceremony and saying, "This wedding is not going to happen because the groom can only marry me," and showing the ring he had given her, she asks him if he still loves her, but he remains silent. So, she, disappointed, decides to retire. However, his stepfather watches him from a distance and gives him the freedom to make his own decision, and motivated by the love he feels, he runs towards her, kissing her passionately and determined not to let anything or anyone separate them. They escape together from the wedding, thus ending this beautiful love story. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.